Hello, Internet. It is Steph. I'm here with a very special guest today, Courtney Act.
Hi.
So we are going to do a little LGBT Q&A that
we just did one on my channel.
We're here because we were brought together by This Free Life, which is a tobacco-free campaign. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're like queen bee of the drag community. How would you describe who you are for my fan base who don't already know who you are?
Okay, well, I am from Australia.
Hence the lovely accent.
Hence the accent.
Put the shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah, I moved here about 5 years ago and I auditioned for this TV show called RuPaul's Drag Race, which is kind of like America's Next Top Model, but for drag queens.
When you're in West Hollywood and going out, what's your best like go-to flirt face?
I'm gonna pretend that you're the hot guy on the other side of the room. I'll just be like talking to my friend and then I'll see like a cute guy and then I'll glance back and be like,
I saw that, like, you lick your lip a little.
works every time. You try your straight boy pickup face.
Okay, so I'm gonna do what you do to get men.
Yeah.
So you're from the lovely land of Australia.
Correct.
And I'm not, but I know you have different like slang and terminology.
Oh yeah, we shorten words and we put O's on the end a lot. Pick up a bottle of Bundy from the bottle-o.
Bob's your uncle.
Is that Australian?
That's a fair dinkum.
Fair dinkum means like real.
Yeah. I was in my UT.
Ute.
Dang it. 50K south of whoop whoop.
50 kilometers, like, which is how many miles? Woof woof is like the middle of nowhere.
Whoop whoop. This is so great.
Excuse me.
So how do you deal with, because I feel like since what you do, putting yourself out there, you have to have almost like a really thick layer of skin, but what do you do when people try to bring you down?
Like, you're gonna come across horrible comments every now and then, and I find the best thing to do is just to acknowledge it and be like, oh, that comment hurt, or that comment made me angry, and then sort of like focus on where to go there. And I think people who smoke, like a lot of people who quit are like, oh, I'm gonna quit smoking, and they kind of forget about acknowledging how they feel. And it's like, oh, I have a craving for a cigarette right now. Like I've got that like angst, I want one. And you have to like acknowledge that and then be like, but I'm choosing not to have one right now. I mean, it's kind of random because we've come so far, like especially in the last couple of years with queer identities and like trans women in the media and like the whole LGBTQ plus community is coming so far, and then we're like smoking cigarettes at like a higher rate than everybody else. Kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I think it just makes sense to be tobacco free. I'm just fanning my thighs.
I'm so glad you feel that way because I'm on the exact same mindset as you, especially with This Free Life. And I'm so glad it brought us together because, you know, I feel like we both want the best for like ourselves and the community, and the best versions of ourselves are tobacco-free versions.
Yeah, and I feel like people don't always talk about it so much. So it's nice when like a bunch of like YouTubers were like, oh, and by the way, we don't smoke and we love living tobacco free.
Yeah, and I feel like we're just encouraging positivity and going throughout it with a positive mindset, which is the best way to do it.
Positive minds and healthy bodies.
So if you want to see the LGBT Q&A we did on Courtney's channel, be sure to see that and subscribe to her. I will see you guys next week, and I love you all. Have a great day.